hyped to make a difference. Yeah, that's what I love to hear. Standing here, I know it's freezing. I know you guys are cold. I'm cold too. But standing here today in the middle of this snowstorm, this is where we get our voice. Because we're high schoolers. We're not supposed to have a voice. People don't want us to have the power to make a difference. Right?
Let's go, Luke.
But standing here today, together, we can have a voice. We can bring change to Beacon Hill. We can bring change.
On March 7th, students from across Boston walked out of school to protest against gun violence in the wake of the Parkland shooting. Hundreds of students made calls to their representatives to encourage them to support new gun control legislation.
First and foremost, we're demanding that the ERPO bill gets passed. We are starting with local goals because we think that it's something that we can really personally work on, but as we are also working towards stricter gun control laws and an assault rifle ban in the U.S.
So we're walking out at 8:17 a.m. For the 17 victims of the Parkland shooting, and we're having 17 minutes of silence when we get outside.
Yeah, we're speaking to the people that are older than us and more powerful than us and more experienced, and we're saying that we need to be represented because we're scared and we don't want to be gunned down in our own schools.
We are essentially saying we're going to walk out every Wednesday from now until we get this bill passed.
Some people make the argument that since we live in Massachusetts, a state that has very good gun control, that we shouldn't be taking such an active stance on this issue. And I think it really is true that this could happen anywhere.
Although some believe the students should not be leaving school, the young protesters believe their activism is imperative.
If an adult comes up to me and tells me I should be in class, I would tell them, what about the hundreds of students who have died being in class?
Yeah. The victims of Parkland shooting should be in class right now. I would say the victims of Sandy Hook should be in class. The victims at Columbine.
And they are not able to because they were killed tragically, and that is not something that we should just stand by and watch happen.
The students needed a minute to get out of the school and make their voices heard.
We feel that the walkout actually is probably one of the most important parts of this because it's making a statement. It's making a bold statement saying that we will sacrifice a day of education in order to make our voices heard.
I'm an immigrant and I come here to learn and to be in school and to get a better life. But what if I don't feel safe enough to be in school all the time?
We have hundreds of kids out there, and they are saying to you and they are saying to everyone around us that we are scared and that we are fed up with not having the safety that we have been promised. We are legally required to be in a building that our representatives refuse to protect, and that in and of itself is cruel.
No kid should walk in thinking, am I going to die today? And I think that that's a thought that a lot of kids have these days.
To imagine that something like that could ever happen, it's so scary.
And that especially us in this generation, we've grown up with this. We've grown up doing active shooter drills, and we've had to face the reality that someone could come into our school and harm us from a very young age. Younger than anyone should have to be thinking about death.
And also, yes, we're in Massachusetts, but we've lost 2 students to gun violence this year. Yeah. My house has been shot at. It's not an issue that we haven't dealt with.
And as for the representatives in office, these kids have a powerful message.
I think that legislators need to think about the fact that regardless of what they think of us now, we are going to be voting. And if they do not take action now, they will be ceremoniously voted out of office.
Half of these students are upperclassmen, meaning half of these students will also be able to vote.
I will be voting in 2020 for sure, and I will make my voice heard.
Yes.
And I'm doing my part now because this issue is immediate. If someone came into my school tomorrow with a gun, that could happen.
We know the truth, and it's not coming from our parents or coming from the news. It's coming from us, and we know exactly what's going on and what we want.
Considering that I'm going to be in school for many, many more years, the fact that I'm going to have to deal with this idiocy is insane, and I won't stand it, and I won't stand for it, and neither will my teachers, and neither will my peers.
I think when it comes down to it, taking away someone's guns is worth someone's life, no matter your pride or whatever else is left. We can all agree that a human life is more worth it.
When we go back to school today and they say, no, you can't walk out, you can't care about whether or not your family, your friends will be safe. What will we say? Yes, we can! Thank you all so much for coming out today.
For Somerville Neighborhood News, this is Christine Jones.